What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, like I said in the last video, is the day we starter, at least hopefully. So, things I've done since the last video that you guys seen, I did get my ground installed. I got a new ground cable. It's ran over to this ground point over here now. What else? My dipstick tube for my transmission is in. It is secured. My transmission is now full of fluid. My motor's full of fluid. I have connected a fuel gauge to my fuel rail because before I start this thing, I want to prime the fuel pump a couple of times to make sure I'm getting fuel pressure or adequate fuel pressure and check for leaks along all of my fittings in my entire fuel system. And I have now got a new coil because my coil that I had was broken. And I got a new coil. All of my wires are now connected. I have put an upper radiator hose on. I know that's ugly, but temporarily it's what I've got and it works. This is a stock like Tahoe radiator hose, but it was super long, so I cut it and I have a connector in there. It should hold. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's kind of ugly and I don't like it, but it's gonna hold. So I've got to get part of my intake tube on. I just got another stock like Tahoe intake tube so I can hook my mass airflow sensor to the end. I do not have an alternator on it. You don't need an alternator to run it. You also do not need a serpentine belt on to run. I have no coolant in here. It's empty, so I'm not going to run it for very long. I just want to make sure it starts and make sure it runs. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to, now that I got the battery connected and I do have my fire extinguisher here, safety first, just in case something ever happens. You never know. There is fuel involved now. So I've got that standing by. But I got my battery connected and I'm going to go cycle the key on and I will let you guys watch my fuel pressure gauge and see if my fuel pressure goes up. Okay, so as you see, it got up to about 50, and it is slowly coming down, which means I'm going to check for a leak. Just because it's slowly coming down doesn't mean there is a leak. This motor has not been ran for a long time. There could be an ejector that's slightly stuck open. So I'm going to check around for leaks right now, run my hand around, and see if I got anything anywhere. I thought I might have heard something, but I am not certain on that. So what you do is you just run your hand around all the fuel lines and all the fittings. That's dry around there. Come around to the bulkhead that I had, and there's fuel down there. So it is leaking down here, which means I'm gonna have to tighten these up. So I gotta tighten those up and see if I can solve that fuel leak there. And then let's climb underneath the car and see if there's any more fuel leaks. So the only fitting I got is sitting up there, and it is leaking. So running down here, I've got my filter right down here, so I can get you guys in there. There's my filter. Totally dry around there. It's dry around here. Coming back, the other lines are up there underneath the back of the cart. At the tank. Right up there. So let's stick my hand up there and see if I can feel anything. Okay, so I only had that one leak, the fuel line, and it was right down there at the bulkhead. Got that tightened up. That's fixed. I know it's ugly, it's just temporary. I'm not going to obviously do this here, but I've got my intake ran up to my mass airflow sensor so that it will idle on its own. Without that, it has a hard time idling. So, fingers crossed. Here goes the first start with this new engine. And again, safety first. I've got that sitting there. So let's crank this bad boy over and see what happens. Well, she's alive. She is alive. Okay, guys, so the video of it starting, it does start, it does run, does idle on its own, and I am able to rev it, but you guys can't hear it. So I'm going to try and take a shot from down here, see if you can hear it any better. I don't know. That last video didn't do any justice at all. This thing is ridiculous loud. So I'm going to start it again, one last time, give it a couple quick little revs, see if you can hear it better. Alright, hopefully that picked it up a little bit better. I don't know, but it runs. So, damn, goal accomplished. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It runs. I'm excited. So, like I said, it doesn't have any coolant in it. And the temperature, I mean, it didn't get very hot. I need to get some coolant in it. I need to get an intake for it. And I need to get a floor shifter for inside. I can't even drive this car until I get my floor shifter. Right now, the stock shifter that's up there, I can't use it because it's in the way down here. It's hitting the header. I need to get another power steering line, serpentine belt, alternator. There's a couple things I got to get for this car, but it runs, it starts, it idles, it runs. That was the main goal for the day. Get this thing to run. Now that I know that it runs, Sue sailing. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. I know I enjoyed starting this engine. This thing's ridiculous. So, be sure to leave a like, thumbs up this video, helps me out a lot. If you have any questions on how I did anything, how I got this thing to start, go ahead and leave a question down in the comment box, and be sure to subscribe. If you're new to subscribe, make sure you click that bell notification. Thanks, guys. Catch you in the next video.